We are in the final stretch. 5 days until the Book of Boba Fett. Yep, we are getting there. So it's about time to do a recap of everything that's happened to Boba Fett in his life until now, or until the Book of Boba Fett takes place. So that's what we're going to do today. Subscribe if you're new. That really means a lot to me. And like if you enjoy and want to see more Book of Boba Fett content. And let's begin. Alright, so just before we begin, real quick, I want to tell you that I'm not going to use Legends, even though Dave Filoni might pull stuff from Legends, or anybody might pull something from Legends for the show. I'm not going to do Legends stuff. I'm not really going to do books and comics, just because the TV shows always end up contradicting them. So, yeah. Those are my two, little rules, but this is going to go from Attack of the Clones all the way through, Mandalorian, all the way through Mandalorian, and yeah, so it should be fun. Let's begin. Alrighty, so let's start where it all began. 32 BBY on Kamino. Boba Fett was born, I guess you could say, because of Jango's request to have a son of his own that wasn't a clone that aged twice as fast. So, yeah, Boba was made, and he raised him, and I don't think Boba ever left Kamino after that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he had left Kamino at all those 10 years. But Jango Fett had, so... Then in 22 BBY, which is Attack of the Clones, Anakin, Obi-Wan comes, and both, he seems really suspicious to both Boba and Jango, which makes them try to leave, but then obviously Obi-Wan tries catching up. Boba flies Slave 1 a little bit to shoot, and they have the asteroid chase. Boba's alongside Jango the whole time, having the chase, helping out a bit. Then the next time we really see him is after Jango dies, which is a huge turning point in his life. He's furious and wants to get revenge on Mace Windu. So, on to the Clone Wars era. Yeah. The first time we see Boba in the Clone Wars is end of Season 2. He tries to assassinate Mace Windu. And he ends up taking down a whole Republic cruiser doing it. He's in disguise as a clone cadet. But he's not a clone cadet. He doesn't feel connected to clone cadets. Even though at the end of the episode he kind of doesn't want to abandon him, but is forced to. And then and then later they meet up on Florum, and there's a huge chase, and Boba eventually gets arrested. A little bit later, there's a prison break, and he escapes, but he's still furious at Mace Windu, and But, anyways, not a whole lot happens to Boba in the rest of the Clone Wars, exactly. There's bits and bobs, but overall, he was on this one bounty hunter mission once, and he kind of had a bit of a heart on the mission where he didn't want to. I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was a very troublesome mission for him. And yeah, but overall not much actually happened to Boba in the Clone Wars now that I think of it. But yeah, that's that for the Clone Wars. Also, around this time, Fennec Shand and Omega met just after Revenge of the Sith, which both have a connection with Boba because Omega is the only other non-altered clone, and then FETT eventually is saved by Boba, which we'll get to later. So yeah, that's kind of all for the Clone Wars. And then after the Clone Wars, Boba's kind of just doing odd jobs and stuff. He's become a bounty hunter like his father, you know. He kind of works with Jabba a bit and bits and bobs until the next time we see him, which is actually in the redone version of A New Hope. We see him with Jabba the Hutt. It might have even been the redone version, but yeah, we see him with Jabba, so we know that he's been working with Jabba. And I think even back then he might have had a little history with Han and all that stuff. So the next time we see him is The Empire Strikes Back, which is where he hunts Han and the Falcon after being hired by the Empire, and really shows his skills, how he tracked them and how he got notified the Empire, and then how he was able to take Frozen Han to Jabba. I know there's been a little history with that lately in comics, but I'm not going to go over that right now. But so, yeah, that's kind of what happened. And then we have the big part where Boba gets in Return of the Jedi. He's still with Jabba. Then he gets eaten by the Sarlacc over the Sarlacc pit in that big battle. And then he somehow escapes, but we don't know how, but that'll probably be explained in flashbacks in the Book of Boba Fett, which should be very, very interesting. So now, The Mandalorian. Well, the first time we actually see Boba in The Mandalorian is when he saves Finnick, which gives them a really big bond. He saves her life after she was shot, and yeah, so he's just been on Tatooine this whole time, apparently. Yeah, we don't know much, but yeah, we don't know really what happened in between those few years. But anyways, then we see his big reveal in Episode 1 of Mando Season 2, that he's alive, and, well, doesn't look very well, but he's well, alive and well. But then we notice that in Episode 6, he's come for his armor, because he's a Mandalorian, and he wants his armor, and so yeah, he's given his armor by Mando, and they have that big fight. Then because Mando helped him, he agrees to go help Mando rescue Grogu. So he cleans up all of his armor, which is really neat. He just has some really nice battle moments. Eventually, after all that crazy stuff helping Grogu get rescued, all that, he goes and he takes over Jabba's palace to become the new crime lord, or whatever his plans are. But we know he's changed from all the Book of Boba Fett ads. He does not seem like the same Boba. But we didn't have much information on Boba. He didn't have much of a story. Anyways, that's basically Boba's life. So that's where it's gonna start up in Book of Boba Fett. We're gonna see what he's gonna do with Jabba's throne, all the underworld stuff, and any other surprises that come our way in just 5 days. 5 days. Oh, it's getting so close. I'll have an episode breakdown coming, all that good stuff, and I'll definitely be theorizing on the show a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this video about a recap. I hope this jogged your memory a bit so you know what to expect, or what happened to Boba, so you know what he's gone through. And yeah, I guess subscribe if you're new, and like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys. Oh yeah, happy holidays. I will see you guys next time.